Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be showing you the best performance settings inside of Windows 11. By following the steps in this video, this will improve the performance of your games as well as just enhance the overall speed of your system. This video is specifically for people using computers with Windows 11 installed. However, if you are using Windows 10, you can still follow along with this guide, as the majority of steps are either going to be the same or at least somewhat similar. Now, before we start, I'd always recommend creating a restore point by coming over to our start menu and searching for restore point, and then selecting create a restore point. Select the create a restore point button down here, and you simply need to give your restore point a name. I'm just going to call it backup, and then go ahead and select create. And this way, if for whatever reason we need to revert back to our original settings, we can do so simply by coming over to System Restore and then locating our backup from the list. So now that we have our backup made, let's get straight into how to optimize our system. The best place to start is by updating our system, as updates often include performance enhancements and bug fixes that will improve the overall stability and efficiency of our system. So we just need to head over to our start menu and search for settings, and then head over to the settings menu. Come over to Windows Update from the left hand side here, and we just need to press this check for updates button, and if the scan detects any updates, then just download and install them now, and you'll need to restart your computer, but I would recommend waiting until the end of this video before restarting your system. So once we've installed any pending Windows updates, the next thing we need to do is update our graphic card drivers, as once again, outdated drivers may struggle to handle the graphic demands of modern applications and games, resulting in decreased performance. So there are two ways to do this. The first and most simple method is just to head over to your start menu and search for Device Manager, and then head over to the Device Manager window. Inside of here, we need to come down to Display Adapters and expand this list, and you need to locate your graphics card from inside of here. Now, there is a possibility that you have two graphics cards inside of here, one that is usually just built into the computer, and another one that is added externally for performance. So this NVIDIA graphics card down here is my one for performance, so I'm just going to select this and right click, and we need to come into update driver. Then just press search automatically for drivers and make sure everything is up to date here. Now, the only issue with using this method is this tool isn't the best at detecting outdated drivers, so if you do want to be completely sure that you are running the most up-to-date driver, I would recommend heading to the official manufacturer's website and installing the latest driver directly from their website. So for example, because I have a NVIDIA graphics card, I can simply head over to an internet browser. We can just type in NVIDIA latest drivers graphic card and hit enter, and then come over to the official NVIDIA website to download the latest drivers. And of course, you can do the same for AMD, Intel, or whatever graphics cards you are running. So now that we are running the most up-to-date software and drivers, the next thing we need to do is remove any unwanted software and applications from our computer. So just head over to the start menu and search for programs, and then come over to add or remove programs. Then simply go down this list one by one and uninstall any programs that we don't need installed on our PC. You'd be surprised just how many things in here we don't need, and we could even order this at the top here by which ones are consuming the most amount of disk space by ordering this from large to small. Then simply select the three little dots of the application that you want to uninstall, and then go ahead and press uninstall. Once you've gone through this list and removed any unnecessary applications, we need to come over to gaming from the left hand side and then select game bar at the top. Now, if you don't use the game bar feature, we simply need to turn this off. And if you're not sure what the game bar is, then you definitely don't use it, and it's safe to turn off, but it's basically a built-in piece of software inside of Windows that allows you to perform some features like recording your screen while you are gaming. Then press the back arrow at the top here, and this time we're going to come inside of captures. And once again, if you don't use the recording feature or you use an external piece of software to record your screen, then we can simply switch this option off. And once again, press the back arrow. And now we're going to come inside of game mode. And this feature here, we want to actually enable, especially if you're using your computer for gaming, as this will optimize our system for the best performance while we are gaming. Now, from the left hand side, we can come down to privacy and security, come inside of the general tab, and we're going to turn all of these options off. These are mostly tracking features built into Windows, and really don't provide many benefits, so it's safe to disable all of these options inside of here. And then we're going to press this back arrow at the top, and this time scroll down to diagnostics and feedback, and once again we're going to disable all of these options inside of here, and then come right to the bottom here where it says delete diagnostic data, and we're just going to press this button and then go ahead and select delete, and this is going to delete any data that Microsoft already has stored on our device. So we can press the back arrow at the top once more, and this time come all the way down inside of microphone, and you actually want microphone access at the top here enabled and turned on, because obviously this is required for our games and applications to use our microphone. However, if there are any applications inside of here that we don't want or don't need accessing our microphone, then we can simply toggle them off inside of here. For example, I don't need the snipping tool to be able to access my microphone, so I'm just going to turn this off, and there's a couple of other things inside of here that I can turn off. And then once again we can press the back arrow, and we're going to scroll all the way down inside of camera, and we're going to do exactly the same in here. Just make sure camera access is enabled, so just ensure camera access is enabled at the top here, and then go ahead and disable any camera access of applications that don't need the camera. Then the last thing we can do from the settings menu is come over to system from the left hand side, come inside of notifications, and we also want to disable notifications because we don't need this feature continually running in the background of our PC. Then come back one window from here, come inside of display, and then come all the way down to graphics, select change default graphics settings, and then just turn on hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, as this is going to reduce latency and improve performance. We can then close out of the settings window, and the next step is to come over to the start menu and search for task manager, and then just head over to the task manager window, or we can just right click on the taskbar down here and select task manager. Inside of here we're going to shut down any background applications that we don't need running on our system, because any applications inside of this list are eating our system resources, so anything we can shut down in here is going to help with performance. Simply go down the list and right click on the application that you don't need running in the background, and then we can go ahead and select end task. Just make sure you know what you are shutting down, as you don't want to end up turning off an important Windows service or feature. Then once we've shut down any background applications, we need to come over to Startup Apps from the left hand side. Now that we've just turned off our background applications, when we restart our computer, a lot of these third-party applications may end up restarting unless we've turned them off inside of here as a startup application. So we can order this list by clicking the status column, and that's going to tell us which applications are enabled and disabled on startup. And once again, anything that's enabled inside of here, if we don't need it running on startup, then we can just right click on this application and go ahead and select disable. So you can see on my PC here, most of my applications are disabled on startup, so we can go ahead and close out of this window, and we're next going to come over to the start menu and search for control panel. Then head over to the control panel icon, and at the top here just make sure view by is set to large icons, and then come over to mouse to bring up the mouse settings. From the top select pointer options, and we're just going to deselect this option here for enhanced pointer precision. Now, the reason why it's important to disable this option, especially if you are gaming, because it basically keeps our mouse movements consistent. So just make sure this option here is left unchecked, and we can leave the rest of the settings inside of the mouse properties and go ahead and press apply and OK to save these changes. Whilst we're inside of the control panel, we also need to come over to power options, and inside of here we have two options, either balanced or high performance. Now, if your laptop is plugged in most of the time, I'd recommend selecting this high performance plan to get the maximum performance from your system. Obviously, if your laptop is left unplugged and you're trying to optimize or conserve battery life, then you may want to select this balance plan here, but for me, I'm going to select high performance, and then we can close out of this window. And the next thing we're going to do is come back over to the start menu and search for run, and then tap on the run icon. Inside of here, we need to type in sysdm.cpl and hit enter, and in system properties we need to come over to advanced on the top here. Inside of this performance section, hit settings, and once again we'll have a few options to choose from in here. Now, for the best settings, I'd recommend coming down to custom and changing your options on the screen so it matches what you see here. So basically you want to enable animations in the taskbar, enable peak, show thumbnails instead of icons, and smooth edges of screen fonts, everything else can be left unchecked. Now you could always select this option here, adjust for best performance. However, it will definitely downgrade the appearance of your Windows computer, and obviously we have this option here for adjust for best appearance. Now because this video is all about maximum performance, I also wouldn't recommend selecting this, so the custom option down at the bottom is definitely the best option here. And once we've finished inside of here, we need to come over to this advanced tab at the top and make sure adjust for best performance of is set to programs and not background services, and then we can press apply and OK to save these changes. We then need to come back over to the start menu and search for run, and then head over to the run icon. Inside of here, type in the word temp and hit enter, and we need to clear out all of our files inside of this folder, as these are just temporary files, and if you've never cleared out these files before, they're probably consuming a large amount of disk space. So just press Ctrl A on your keyboard to select everything, and then right click and select the trash icon to delete them. And if you get a security message pop up inside of here, just select do this for all current items and hit continue, and there may be some files that are just unable to delete, as they could be currently in use on your computer, so that's absolutely fine. As long as we delete the majority of contents in here, we're absolutely happy with that, and we can close out of this window. We then need to come back over to the start menu and search for run, and then tap on the run icon. This time we're going to type in %temp %, and hit enter, and once again we're going to select everything inside of here by pressing Ctrl A, and then right clicking and selecting the trash icon to delete everything. And we can then close out of this window, and the next thing we're going to do is run the disk cleanup tool, which is a built-in tool by Windows to help free up space on our hard disk to create improved performance. So just head over to the start menu and search for disk cleanup, and then just head over to the disk cleanup tool. So we first need to come down to clean up system files, and this is going to perform a quick scan of our drives, and then we can just go ahead and select everything inside of here by checking all of these boxes, unless there's anything you want to keep inside of here. I mean, the only thing worth keeping would be this downloaded program files folder, if you do have anything in the downloaded folder that you wanted to keep. Otherwise we can check everything, and as you can see down here, this will save me 1.29 gigabytes of space. Now it's not going to be saving me much on my computer as I perform this scan regularly, and I'd recommend you to do the same. You should be really running this tool weekly just to keep your system efficient, and then go ahead and select OK. Then confirm by pressing delete files, and once we finish the disk cleanup, we're going to come back over to our start menu and search for settings. Then tap on the settings tab, and from the left hand side come into system, come all the way down to storage, and scroll down once more until you see storage sense down here. Now I would recommend enabling this feature, because although you can perform a lot of these tasks manually, it's so easy to forget to do. So this tool is basically going to perform regular maintenance of our systems by cleaning up things like temporary files and other unnecessary data. So once we've enabled this option, we can then click on storage sense here, and you just need to ensure that cleanup of temporary files is checked here. And once you've got this option checked, we can then close out of this window. Then the last settings we're going to change on our system is inside of the services. So just come over to your start menu and search for services, and then head over to the services tab. Now there are a bunch of services inside of here that will be running on our systems that you don't actually need running, but a lot of it comes down to what applications you use and which ones you don't, which will of course be different for everyone. So I'll just cover the basic ones here that should be safe for everyone to disable. Now the first process we need to find is something called connected user experiences, which is this process down here, connected user experiences and telemetry, which is basically a data and error collection service. So we're just going to double click on this service and change the startup type to disabled, and press apply and OK. And the next one we need to find is called downloaded maps manager, which is this one down here, and this one is basically for Bing Maps. So if you don't use the Bing Maps service, we can double click on this and once again change the startup type to disabled and press apply and OK. Then come down once more to this fax process, and as you guessed it, this is to receive or send faxes. So if you don't use faxes on your system, we can double click on this and change the startup type to disabled and press apply and OK. Then once again come all the way down to parental controls, and once you've found parental controls, if you don't use the parental controls feature on Windows, we can also double click on this and change the startup type to disabled and hit apply and OK. Then we also have the phone service down here, and if you don't use the phone application on your PC, which I definitely don't, we can change the startup type to disabled and hit apply and OK. And lastly, we need to scroll all the way down to the bottom of this list, and you'll see all of these Xbox services at the bottom here. There should be 4 in total, and if you don't use any of the Xbox apps or features on your computer, then we can go ahead and also disable all of these. I mean, I don't even have an Xbox, so I can definitely disable all of these. And once you've disabled these 4 services, if we ever did want to re-enable anything inside of here, we can always come back over to the services tab and just double click on the service that we want to reactivate and change the startup type to automatic to re-enable it. But for now, we're just going to close out of this window. And the last thing we're going to do to really improve the performance of our system and just to get that maximum performance out of our computer is to de-bloat Windows. Now, when you install Windows, it will come with a bunch of stuff and applications that we don't need, a bunch of tracking tools that collect our data that uses tons of resources, and a load of settings that we don't need enabled or activated. So to remove all of these garbage applications and to optimize our system, we can use a completely free tool to help us do this. Just head over to an internet browser and come over to a search engine like Google, and we just need to type in de-bloat Windows 11, and you'll need to scroll all the way down here to find this link by the RapHire Win11 debloat, and I will also leave this link in the video description so you guys can come directly to him. Now just scroll all the way down this page, and down here at the bottom beneath traditional method, we can download the latest installer by clicking this link. And once we've installed this file, we simply need to head over to our downloads, and we're going to right click on the zip file and then just select extract all. Now we need to select a location of where we want this extracted to. I'm just going to select my desktop and click on select folder, and then we can just select extract. So once you've extracted these files, head over to the Win11 debloat folder, and inside of here there should be a file called run.bat, which is the file that we need to double click to open. And once you've opened this file, it should bring up the Windows PowerShell, which will look something similar to this. Now inside of here we have a few options. We either have the default mode, which will apply all of the default settings, we have the custom mode, we have the app removal mode, which will just remove applications, or we have the 4th option, which is to apply saved custom settings from the last time we used the application. Now the only 2 that are going to be relevant for us is option number 1 and 2, but because we want to be in full control of what applications we're removing and keeping, we're going to select option 2 and press enter. Now once again we'll be presented with a few options here. Now option number 1, we can remove the default selection of bloatware apps from this file here, appslist.txt. Now you have this file saved in this folder over here. If we just come back to the Win11 debloat folder, you can double click on this file, appslist.txt, and you'll see a full list of applications that will be removed by running this program. Now because there's some applications inside of here that we might want to keep, we're going to select option 3, and that's going to allow us full control of what applications we want to remove and keep. So that's going to bring up this menu here, and to start with you need to come down to only show installed apps, as some people will have different apps on their computer depending on the version of Windows you have installed. So just go ahead and check through this list carefully and uncheck any of the applications that you want to remain on your system. Now the only applications I really want to keep here is perhaps Microsoft Paint, the Windows Store, the Windows Terminal. I'm going to keep Windows Photos and the calculator, Windows Camera I'll keep, and also Spotify at the bottom here I'll keep. Now my list will look slightly different to yours, and that's because I've already ran this tool in the past, so most of my applications have already been removed. So this gives you an indication of which ones I actually have remaining, and then we can just go ahead and press confirm. So you'll have the option here to disable Xbox game and screen recording. So unless you use the Xbox feature, you're going to press Y and hit enter. I'm going to select remove all pin apps from the start menu for all existing and new users, which is number 2, and hit enter. Disable telemetry diagnostic data activity history, which is all tracking data, so definitely want to delete this. I'm going to hit yes and hit enter. Disable tips, tricks, suggestions, yes and hit enter. Disable and remove Bing web search. Now I don't think many of us use Bing, so I'm going to hit yes and hit enter. Disable Windows Copilot, again I'm going to press yes and hit enter. Disable Windows Recall, just hit Y and enter. Now for restore the old Windows 10 style context menu, this only works depending on your version of Windows, so I'd recommend actually putting no for this and hitting enter. Do you want to make any changes to the taskbar? No and hit enter. Do you want to make changes to the file explorer? No and hit enter. And lastly, we can just press enter to confirm all of our choices. And once you finish running that script, you'll then need to restart your system for all of these changes to take effect. Now, once your computer has restarted, it should be running significantly more efficiently, as well as your games and other applications. Now, if you did find this video useful, then please consider dropping a like and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.